The grand synchronization swindle, when safety is just another marketing channel to justify high costs. If you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. The scene is a familiar one for anyone who has worked the roadside. A major incident draws multiple emergency vehicles from different agencies, and the night sky erupts into a chaotic disco of strobing red, blue, amber, and white light. It is visually overwhelming, potentially disorienting for passing motorists, and a recognized hazard for the responders working mere feet from traffic. The solution, according to every major manufacturer in the emergency vehicle lighting industry, is synchronization. Federal Signal, Sound-Off Signal, Code 3, Phoenix, Wayland, and others all sing from the same hymn sheet. They market sync capabilities as a revolutionary safety feature, promising a unified rhythmic flash sequence that maximizes warning effectiveness and minimizes visual clutter. Wayland touts its vehicle-to-vehicle (V2V) sync technology to coordinate patterns across multiple vehicles and agencies. Federal Signal promotes GPS-based synchronization for coordinated responses and multi-agency operations. On the surface, this appears to be a triumph of engineering for the greater good, an industry rallying around a core safety principle. Look closer, and the rhetoric crumbles under the weight of commercial reality. If synchronization is genuinely about enhancing safety for responders and the public, why does it remain a gated community? Why, at a multi-agency incident where a police cruiser from a department that bought brand A arrives next to a fire truck specced with brand B and an ambulance lit by brand C, does the visual chaos persist? Because despite the lofty language about fleet-wide and cross-agency coordination, these manufacturers have built walls, not bridges. The dirty secret of the emergency lighting industry is that sync is a proprietary prison. It works beautifully, flawlessly even, as long as you never, ever buy from a competitor. Wayland's V2V sync to other Wayland flash patterns. Federal Signal's convergence network orchestrates flawless ballets with other Federal Signal lights. Code 3's CELS system ensures its own stable of components plays nicely together. But at the scene of a real-world incident where budgets, bid processes, and decades of vendor loyalty have created a hodgepodge of equipment, these million-dollar R&D investments in safety become useless. The lights from Agency A have no idea how to talk to the lights from Agency B, and the promised unified visual signal remains a fantasy. This is not a technical limitation, it is a business model. These companies have the engineering prowess to solve this tomorrow. They could easily agree on a standardized set of flash patterns that any manufacturer could license or adopt. They could sit down under the banner of the very safety they claim to champion and agree that Pattern 1 means the same thing regardless of whether it is generated by a Whelan or a Sound-Off or Federal. They don't. They won't. To do so would be to commoditize their product. If a fire chief could spec lights from any vendor knowing they would sync perfectly with the neighboring town's rigs, then the purchasing decision might come down to price, service, or warranty. That is a nightmare scenario for marketing departments. By keeping synchronization proprietary, they ensure lock-in. Once a department invests in a central controller from Whelan or a full Federal Signal suite, swapping brands in the future means throwing away the very safety feature they paid a premium for. The sync function becomes digital handcuffs. The industry preaches unity to the motorists while practicing division in the marketplace. They want us to believe that synchronized lighting is so critical to responder survival that we must invest in their ecosystem. Yet they refuse to take the one step that would make that safety feature actually function in the chaotic, multi-brand real world. Until Federal Signal, Wayland, Code 3, and the rest agree to a universal standard, putting responder safety ahead of shareholder value, their proclamations about synchronization are nothing more than profitable hypocrisy. They are selling us the solution to a problem they actively perpetuate.